Welcome in to Coach Ali Smith Show here for 2025. Segment 1, Coach, looking back at the game, a big win against Bob Jones last Friday night.
Man, I'll tell you this, that was one of those games, playoff atmosphere. Can't say enough about our coaches, our staff, our players, for the atmosphere of what they did, the preparation to come out with it.
Patriots, number 10 team in 7A. You would use the word gutted out on them, and that's exactly what happened.
Absolutely. Jumped on them early in the first half, and then they came back and kept fighting. They're not going to quit. They kept fighting. We overcame some adversity. Some young guys really stepped up, and I think we grew up Friday night and got out there with a victory.
Did see some improvement in your rushing attack on Friday night, so talk about that for just a minute.
Hey, something that we're really working on, trying to be better at it, and our guys up front, they understand that, and that's what we want to do, is try to get in, because, hey, if you're going to make a run in the playoffs, you're going to have to be able to run the football, and so that's something that we're looking to do.
Couple that with some big plays in the passing game, which we'll look at in a little bit.
Yes, sir. Hey, things that, and got some guys that we think are explosive, and we want to always be able to make explosive plays.
Defensively, anytime you score, 2 scores on the defensive side of the ball, then of course the play at the end of the game, which we'll look at in the second segment. Big moments for your young defense.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Guys flying around. Something we talked about in the spring, summer, fall camp, and early this year about creating turnovers, playing fast to create turnovers, and then we want to try to score and celebrate the scores.
So, that being said, you're a coach, I coach too. Not everything positive. You walk away, still some issues with penalties.
Hey, those are things that we're going to get it cleaned up. You have to do things to make sure that they remember those penalties and those fouls. And so we're doing stuff throughout the week to remind them of those, to try to eliminate those.
And would mention the kicking game because of the kick return.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to clean that up too. We want to make sure that we do not want to give up points in the kick return. We want to grab points in the kick return on our end, but we do not want to give up or change field position based off of those things right there.
So big win, 3-point win against Bob Jones on Friday. We'll come back after this word from Twin City Used Cars and talk about our player of the game and some of the key plays from the game in just a moment.
Hey Titan fans, this is Coach Ali Smith. Are you looking for a great deal on a used car? At Twin City Used Cars in Gaston, they have the best selection of pre-owned vehicles to fit your budget and lifestyle. And they offer competitive pricing to make sure you drive away with comfort. Visit them today at Twin City Used Cars in Gaston, or view their inventory online at twincityusedcars.com. At Twin City, your next car is waiting for you. Go Titans.
Okay, back for segment 2 of the Coach Ali Smith Show here, episode 6. Coach, looking back at the game, obviously talked about the game overall, but want to kind of zero in on a couple of things. First of all, our City Gadsden player of the game, Keyshawn Curry. Big game for you Friday night.
Keyshawn's been doing everything we want as a young man on and off the field, from the winter to spring to summer to now, and I think hard work doesn't go unnoticed. Keyshawn he's been a mainstay with us in our program for 3.5 years, and but he hadn't been an everyday starter. Sure. And I think that this year is his senior year. He's waited his time, and it's coming to fruition for him in terms of making plays on the field for us.
So congrats to Keyshawn, fine young man, and a great catch from him, which we'll see in a couple minutes. So let's talk about some of the plays that really defined the game. First, they've scored. It's 3-0, and it's second quarter. They got the ball on their end of the field, and Braden Kittle makes a great play for you and gets a pick 6.
Man, Braden did a great job. We was in cover, and we were in what we call 3-stay, and where he drops in coverage, and he kind of settled, and the guy actually drug back across the field from the other, and they tried to float it over his head. Braden actually played safety before he, before he moved down the linebacker. So those skills are set for him, helped him right there. He made a really good play on the ball, and when he got it, he wasn't going to be denied getting to the end zone.
Pick 6, Titans get the lead, come back a couple of plays later. There's a fumble, and of course, anytime something happens, 6 somewhere close to the ball, and Ty Sims picks it up and runs it in.
Hey, Ty did a really good job. It was a wildcat formation that they got in, and something that we had seen, and he knew his key was to come down, and he was a edge rusher in that to make them force it to bounce it back in. But as he went, the guy didn't move. He saw the ball. His instincts just took over, and it bounced right up in his hand, and he took off. I don't even think their quarterback even moved when he realized Ty had it.
So we scored, that's 2 defensive scores, and all of a sudden Titans are on top. Then there's a lapse in the kicking game. We're not going to show that footage, but they return a kick. But later offensive drive, Keelan Smith with a big touchdown run for you.
Man, Keelan, just trying to get to the end zone, running really hard, and make a good cut and get upfield, get us north and south, and get in the end zone.
So we move to the second half. It's a back and forth ball game. It's close, but we got a double digit lead at times, 2-score lead at times, and then they cut it to 1, and then they cut it to 2. And then all of a sudden you're in a position. This was the runner up for player of the game, where Keyshawn does a post route deep. Sam throws a deep ball, and Keyshawn makes some really phenomenal moves to put it into the end zone on a long touchdown play.
Absolutely, a senior football player wanting to go make a football play. And, I always tell our kids, players make plays. And so at that time, he went and made a football play that we really needed at that moment and got it in the end zone, done an excellent job for us.
Bob Jones comes back, right, and they make a valiant run toward the end of the game, and they got it down inside the 10-yard line. The pass they threw there was unbelievable. I don't know what we get math teachers to talk about trajectories on that one, but they line up to kick the field goal to tie the ball game. We're in the neutral zone.
Yes.
So what are you thinking at that moment?
Well, I think I'll tell you what I'm thinking today. That was a great offside by us. But at that moment, I'm like, we got to lock in. We can't make mental mistakes like that. And but they took the points off the board to go for the win, and so
it moves the ball down inside to the 1-yard line. They did not have any timeouts left. They were running a frenetic pace, run a guy on late, and credit your defensive guys up front. A lot of pressure in the middle of that defensive line and on the edges, and Timmons gets the initial hit.
Well, I'll tell you this. I credit our staff as well. We work those situational of how to just run people on, emergency field goal, emergency stops, getting guys on, and we were able to get our heavy package out there as they was transitioning, we was transitioning. And man, I'll tell you this, Timmons did a really good job, but Chris Butler actually set it on in there and threw one of the offensive tackle back into the guy, and Timmons, and it made the runner have to run the hoop, and Timmons was able to make the first initial tackle, and the rest of the Titans came and got him on the ground.
Rail, I think, comes in there. That was our game day live play of the game. Interesting note, a year ago, able to get a win over Bob Jones thanks to a goal line stop. So
Absolutely.
2 in a row against the Patriots. The Titans again get a big win.
Yeah, I think we realized that on Sunday. We talked about that's 2 years in a row that we've had a great goal line stand against those guys.
That's absolutely right. So that'll do it for segment number 2. We'll come back, look at homecoming game against Lee right after this.
Takes the snap, rushes it. He's stuffed!
Yeah!
The Titans stuff him at the goal line for the second straight.
All right, back for segment 3 of the Coach Ali Smith Show here. Coach, we shift our focus, obviously, to another region game. Move back in region play, 3-2 overall, and you got the Generals of Leah Huntsville coming in for this 6th contest of the regular season.
Yeah, the biggest thing is a region game. That's first and foremost. It's also homecoming this week, and Lee's a football team that's got a ton of athletes all over the field. Hadn't had a lot of success, but teams like this are very dangerous in terms of you give them some confidence, and when you have athletes like that, it could cause for problems.
They are 0 on the season, but very big across the front on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely, they're humongous. They have great athletes, and for us, this is going to be a challenge for us.
So homecoming week, you really focus on how do you limit distractions. Talk about how the coaching staff pulls that off.
Well, I tell our kids and our staff, our schedules are They are like our way of life every day is what we do. We can't get outside the box because, homecoming is a great opportunity for the student body, the community, and the fans alike. But at the end of the day, they want to know if we get a W at 9:30 that Friday night, and our kids can't lose focus of that.
The guy that's the most dangerous on the offensive side of the ball for them is the quarterback. So talk a little bit about what you expect from the league on offense.
They're going to move the ball. They like to get in the double set. And this guy, he's a good scrambler, and he'll keep his head up, and he may be running, and then just up and just heave it down the field. So we have to be very, very disciplined with a team like the league. You got to be disciplined.
What do you expect from them on defense?
They'll fly around to the ball. They're big. They're going to try to force you to have to throw the football, not be able to run it up the middle. But we got to be able to stay balanced, and I want to see if we can tempo them and get them out to play fast.
So keys to the game for you on Friday?
Hey, the biggest thing is you talked to me earlier about it, is eliminating mistakes.
Yes.
We got to take care of Gaston City and not continue to shoot ourselves in the foot and do things that we can control by being locked in and staying focused on things that what we can control.
Well, Coach, thank you again for another episode of the Coach Ali Smith Show. Looking forward to a big game Friday night against Lib Huntsville. Hope you come out and join us for homecoming. If not, you can listen to us on the Titan Sports Network or watch us on Titan Media. For Coach Smith, I'm Stephen Frazier saying, go Titans.
Go Titans.